70-year-old school teacher ends up arrested and naked because she simply wanted the money deposited into her account. Let's put the picture up full mass. It's a damn shame. Florida, once again, 70-year-old retired school teacher Linda Stevens was a MidFlorida Credit Union. She's a customer there, all right? She's been there for the past 50 years, but she alleges that after confronting the bank about money missing from her account, she was accused of having a gun, was arrested, left inside of a hot patrol car, and thrown in jail. That's what they did to her, according to the narrative. Stevens and her attorneys, like being Crump, allege she was met with such hostility and disdain because of her race. The February 3rd lawsuit filed on her behalf accuses MidFlorida of blatant discrimination and flagrant indifference. On April 13th, 2021, Miss Stevens, the 70-year-old retired school teacher, deposited $600 in the ATM at the Bartow, Florida branch to pay her mortgage. Receipt in hand. She returned home, but in the morning she noticed the funds were not there. So Stevens went back for assistance, like any of us would do. A credit union employee told the retiree that he did not see her deposit and said the ATM was being worked on due to mechanical issues. That's your issue right there. The ATM was being worked on due to mechanical issues by a technician. The teller told Stevens to return in several hours, fill out a dispute form to resolve the discrepancy with her deposit. Ms. Stevens did as she was instructed and returned, where she was told by another employee that the deposit has still not been posted. The employee accepted the dispute form and reassured her the funds would appear in her account within 2 to 3 hours. After waiting the rest of the day and the following morning, Stevens went back to the bank on April 14th after the funds did not show up in her account. When she arrived, the tellers told Ms. Stevens, they were unable to help her or tell her the status of her $600 deposit. And she was shown to an office. In the office, Ms. Stevens explained to another employee what had transpired previously, the lawsuit alleges. Then the employee called the ATM technician who serviced the machine. The technician confirmed that he had found the missing $600. Ms. Stevens was distraught by then and vocally showed her concern. The branch manager came into the office and demanded that Ms. Stevens calm down as she pleaded with the employees for access to her funds. Instead, the branch manager gave her a 911 call. The police officer arrived and stood behind Ms. Stevens before another officer arrived with his hand on his firearm, stating somebody called 911 and claimed Ms. Stevens had a gun. That's what the police said, according to the report. Ms. Stevens was afraid for her life by this time and told the police officers that she just wanted access to her ATM deposit. That is it, that is all. She also told them she did not have a gun, but the officer placed her in handcuffs, left her inside of the police vehicle in a 90-degree heat cycle for 20 minutes. Once at the police station, Ms. Stevens, 70-year-old retired school teacher who just wanted her $600, who had never been arrested for anything in her natural life, was dragged out of the police vehicle, thrown down on the ground and placed in a holding cell. She was later handcuffed, dragged across the floor by 4 male officers, thrown face first into a police vehicle and transported to the sheriff's department after they affixed the charges. Her nose was broken in the process. At the sheriff's department, Ms. Stevens was stripped nude before being transported to the jail. She spent 24 hours completely naked on the cement floor of a jail cell before being released. She had been charged with disorderly conduct, a charge prosecutors completely dropped. According to Ms. Stevens' claim, on April 16, 2021, a MidFlorida regional manager contacted Ms. Stevens to apologize. She met Stevens at her home and apologized while noting the bank's mistake and the trauma suffered by Ms. Stevens. The manager also gave Ms. Stevens a voucher for a mortgage payment for $300, not $600. Stevens has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and is undergoing psychiatric therapy at the time. So, Ms. Stevens, I want to say this to you. I'm so sorry this happened to you. You got the right guy with you. Ben Crump is a friend of mine. He's going to do you right. Let this be an example to that bank and to anyone who devalues the lives of historically marginalized people, because we got communities now. All right, Mr. Mayor, thoughts?
70 years old, likely someone's grandparent.
Yeah.
She wanted her money, her money. She was asking for her money that she had a receipt for and that they knew they were responsible for.
Yeah, they knew.
She did have a gun, Doc. It was her black skin. She was charged with disorderly conduct. Nothing was said about that she didn't have a gun. Who's investigating the idea that she had a gun? Where did that claim come from? We hear this so often as a reason to be aggressive with black people, usually younger black men, but someone's grandmother had her nose broke for investigating her money. Her money, her mortgage. She's living on a fixed income and she's a retired teacher. This story is by far the most disgusting thing we talked about today.
Yeah, I agree. $600.